SCP-4158, aka Big Charlie the Big Cow. Object Class Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-4158 is to be kept in an 8 meter by 10 meter cell in the medium containment zone of Site-64. The cell is to be fitted with a 5 meter drill on the east wall of the cell. SCP-4158 is to be sheared of its excess mass and have its cell cleaned once every week unless a test is being conducted. X-rays are to be performed on SCP-4158 before and after shearing. The resulting meat must be incinerated. SCP-4158 is to be fed a diet of raw beef, hay, wood, and bricks. Consistent monitoring is not necessary, though SCP-4158 must be checked at a minimum of 3 times a day. In a scenario where growth cannot be regulated, the object class is to be reevaluated. Description: SCP-4158 is a bovine-esque creature measuring 3.4 meters tall and 5 meters long at the time of writing. Its skin is thin, appearing translucent and ripping easily. SCP-4158 is partially blind and has a bulbous head that lacks the features of a bovine, one of which it shares its an alleged lineage. SCP-4158 is sentient and docile, not acknowledging personnel during feeding or cleaning of its cell. SCP-4158 does not produce excrement. SCP-4158 is constantly growing in size and weight. As such, excess mass must be sheared off every week. Testing has shown that limiting the diet of SCP-4158 does not limit its growth. Additional testing has shown that any meat has been removed from SCP-4158 does not display the same consistent growth. The meat produced by SCP-4158 is USDA utility grade beef and has shown no anomalous properties. Despite this, the resulting meat is to be incinerated as a cautionary measure. When SCP-4158 is not sheared of its excess mass, new features begin to form, including limbs, genitalia, and in rare cases, organs. The anatomy and placement of exterior growths are seemingly random. At its largest, SCP-4158 grew to be 8.5 meters tall and 9.8 meters long, featuring 7 legs, 4 stomachs, 2 penises, 5 testicles, and 3 tongues. Before the foundation disallowed further growth. Testing was halted after SCP-4158 began showing evidence of a neural tissue generation. SCP-4158 was found in Kudu, in India, on the morning of December 16th, 2004. Calls to animal control were made by multiple residents about a large cow with made by Highway 17. 2 animal control officers were sent to investigate the reports. Upon discovery of SCP-4158, the animal control officers contacted the local police department at 9:39. A Foundation plan had contacted Site-64 to send containment specialists to transport it. Class A amnestics were administered to the animal control officers, and the case was closed. Reporting as being a cow with mange that was put down at the scene. SCP-4158 was transported to Site-64 at 12:46, with no resistance from SCP-4158. Containment specialists was track the origin of SCP-4158 into a slaughterhouse hosted by the same butcher's block where one employee, Barney Mossman, and the manager, Jeff Fine, were found and taken into Foundation custody. One more employee, Rory Gilson, was later found at his residence at redacted after calling in sick that day. All 3 persons were taken to Site-64 for questioning. Interview logs. Interviewed, Barney Mossman. Interviewer, Dr. Reeves. Begin log, December 17th, 2004, 14:47. Interviewer. Your name is Barney Mossman, correct? Barney Mossman nods his head, sending confirmation. Let the record show that Mr. Mossman nodded his head in confirmation. Come on, man. What am I here for? Mr. Mossman, I'm sure you've been told. You're in here for questioning about the large bovine creature that allegedly belongs to your employer. You mean Big Charlie? Is that the name of the bovine or your employer? It's the cow. I didn't choose it. He was already named when I started working a couple years ago. So you don't know the origin of it? No, man. I don't know anything at all. Well, I mean, all I know is that we feed it hay, but it also eats whatever's around it, like wood and bricks, and sometimes other cows. How long have you had the creature? I told you, man, I don't know. I've been working there for about 4 years, and they already had it. Then when I started working there, they told me they never tell anyone about him. Interesting. So why did you keep it alive and not just slaughter it? Fucking beats me. Man, I only ever fed that damn thing. Hey, they would never tell me. Alright? Is there anything else you can tell me? Nope, I barely ever got to see him. I just sometimes shove hay in his pen. He ain't my department. I'm the custodian. Okay, so where were you when the thing escaped? If your employer is in possession. I was at home because it was night. And what were you doing? Well, I was just looking on my computer until like 11. But then I went to sleep. That's it. You can look at my internet history. I swear that's where I was. And what happened the next morning when you came into work and he was gone? I was late. I was late that night because I was up late night the night before. Mr. Pine went fucking nuts, saying that either me or Rory had sold him out to our competitors, which I'm pretty sure aren't a thing since we're like the only one in 1,000 miles. Do you know any way that he could have escaped? No way, man. That pen he's in is the sturdiest pen I've seen in my life. Only someone with the keys could have opened it. Do you think that Rory Gilson or Jeff Pine could have sold him or something? No way, man. Those two love that thing. Rory treats it like it's his son or something, and Mr. Pine would never. Elaborate to as why Mr. Pine wouldn't. I don't know, man. He treats that thing like an idol or something. Like I said, they never told me why. They kept them, so I don't really know why, but I do know that he would never. Would Rory Gilson so? No, probably. If you want to know anything about Big Charlie, you ask him. I just beat him, but Rory cleans him and gives him checkups and shit and stuff. Well, alright then, Mr. Mossman, I guess that's all you can tell us. Then we're done here. Interview Rory Gilson. Interviewer Dr. Reeves. Begin log. December 17th, 2004, 22 o'clock. Your name is Rory Gilson, right? Correct? That is correct. Okay, let's start the interview. Okay. So what can you tell me about the cow? Well, what do you want to know? Let's start from the beginning. What was that thing? Well, so do I know? So do I. Because I barely know myself. We bought a pregnant cow from someone. Like two for the price of one. And one day the calf had found the mama cow. Like just ripped through its chest. It didn't have an umbilical cord and it wasn't moving, so we thought it was dead. It also looked really disgusting. We hauled it out, but the next morning it had at some point woken up and tried to get into the barn. We thought this old guy is effed. Maybe someone will want to buy him for some scientific study or freak show. We took it inside. How long ago was this? It was 9 years ago. We tried getting rid of him by posting an ad in the local papers, but wait, an ad about selling the creature? Yeah, editors know. The ad was successfully redacted from all public records. Okay, kid, continue. What? Nothing, just continue. Alright, well, we placed the ad, but nobody would buy it, so we decided that it was just a waste to keep it. And it probably wouldn't be a good idea to release it into the wild, because we don't know what it is, and doing that could F up the ecosystem or something. So we decided to finally put it out of its misery. So we got a gun and we placed it right between the beady eyes and pulled the trigger. There was a thunk sound, but nothing happened. Are you sure the gun wasn't compromised in any way? Yeah, and when we tried it again, it just ended up breaking the gun. So we decided to slitting its throat and leaving it there, but it barely bled. So we tried just completely cutting its throat Oh, but it still didn't seem to affect him at all. No, we decided to try and butcher it right there where it stood, but it didn't react. When we were done, it was practically a skeleton. We wanted to get something out of this purchase, and so we decided to just pack the meat in the rest and hope no one would notice. How did you know that the meat wasn't toxic or something? We didn't. But a couple of days we realized that he had grown back most of what we cut off him. We cut off some more and then tried it ourselves. It didn't taste any different from normal meat. It was like a miracle. One cow that just eats anything in front and it produces infinite meat. Of course, we still have other cows that kind of or show so that people don't get curious where our meat comes from. But they don't like Big Charlie. If they get too close and Charlie gets too hungry, he will eat them. But we don't care. He'll produce enough for me to cover both of them. Fascinating. Is there anything else you can tell me? He's sterile. Okay, is there anything else? Well, not really. That's all there is to say. But you can't take him away. Take him from us. He's our private property. And since he is the only reason why we ain't out of the job, you legally can't take him away. Of course, I looked it up. Now, do you have any idea how to escape your possession? No way. Barney always locks up good. And that pen is the strongest pen I've ever seen. There's no way he could have broken it. And Mr. Pine would never let that happen. Is that so? Do you know why? Well, I assume it's because he provides for us. He's the reason why we've got a job. It's also probably more than that. I think he thinks of him as his pet or something. He loves Big Charlie. Interesting. Is there anything else would you would like to say? I guess not. When will I get to see Big Charlie again? You won't. Thank you for cooperating. I believe we're done here. Interviewed Jeff Pine. Interviewer Dr. Reeves. Begin log. December 18th, 2004. 0:15. Interview. You are Jeff Pine, is that correct? Yes. And you are the owner of the Butcher's Blocked Slaughterhouse? Yes. The business is that your employees claim house and fed a bovine creature? Yes. Can you tell us more about that? I bought a pregnant cow from some guy. Eventually it gave birth, and that was Big Charlie. I know about the birth and the way you shear the flesh off of it. Is there anything else you could tell me? We tried to sell it, thinking someone ought to want to study or something. But nobody would touch him. I told the boys to put him down, but the cow wouldn't even crack its skull. So they tried cutting him up over where he stood. The next couple of days, while we were waiting for him to die, we noticed that he had regrown himself. So we decided to accept his blessing. Okay, what are you doing on the night of December 12th, 2004, when the creature escaped? I was just praying. To who, when, and where? What do you want? What do you need to know? Is a fine answer to the question. To Big Charlie. Oh? I've done it every night since we received him. And why is that? You're what they said. He feels no pain. You can't kill him. He provides for us. He is our savior. So why do you think to pray to him? I just felt something when I was around him. I could tell that he wanted to make this sacrifice for us. Ever since he tried to get into the barn after we threw him out like the bastards, I knew he cared for us. And how do you pray to him? Would I use his would I open his pen, take off my clothes, so I was pure before him, lay down, and receive his blessings. And how do you do that? I drink his blood. He didn't need it, but his heart pumps and produces his blood for us. And how come you never told your friends about him? I know that Charlie wouldn't like them. I've seen how he reacts and when they are near him compared to me. He still provides for them, but I'm the only one who he allows to receive his personal blessings. And so this time it ran past you and escaped. Yes, but he could have been escaping. He must have had a goal. Had he ever shown signs of that kind of behavior before? No, not at all. I don't know why he would do that, but it has to be for a reason. We can't all know what those who know better than us are thinking. And has this prayer ever worked for you? Big Charlie doesn't just answer all prayers willy-nilly. He knows what's best for us. So that's a no? How dare you question Big Charlie? He knows what's best for all of us. I'm done here. I don't need to keep answering questions like this. Hey, why? We're not done here until I say so. Sit back down. Let me out. I need to see Big Charlie. I need to see if he's safe. Mr. Fight, sit down. Jeff Bynum attempts to play an interview table. Jeff Bynum is tranquilized by the security guard on duty. God dang it. End log. End log, December 18th, 2004, 1:34. It is currently not believed that Jeff Bynum's worshipping of SCP-4158 it is due to any anomalous effect, as is suggested by a study of personnel showing no abnormal religious or ritual practices after working with SCP-4158. At this time, there seems to be no reason to discredit any claims made. The workers and cows that were in the possession of the butcher's block slaughterhouse at the time were all administered Class E amnestics. The butcher's block slaughterhouse was closed under the pretense that it was due to a health code violation, and employees were arrested for malpractice. The identity of the man that sold Jeff Bynum the pregnant cow at the birth SCP-4158 is still unknown.